a lot of these questions, we could help you better one-on-one, so that way we could go more into detail because every laundromat is different. Assuming you make more on delivery than walk-in, is it more work to deliver for the same price, or worth it and is it worth it to switch everyone to delivery? Okay, yeah, great question. We charge the same price for pickup and delivery. And the reason for that, we charge $1.65 across the board. But out of all of our customers using our software, everybody else charges more for pickup and delivery, or they charge the same price but a $10 pickup and delivery fee. So the reason why we chose to charge the same price is because we make about $70 per pickup versus about $40 if they come to the store. So, but for us, we're happy making $70 per pickup. That being said, part of our mindset was maybe somebody is agnostic whether they pick it up, they drop it off at a store, or use us for pickup, and they might be far away. And they might have been driving their clothes to a laundromat close to them, and we wanted to be competitive on price, so they use us for pickup and delivery, and we could help them. So because they're giving us more clothes, we are doing it just to increase our market share. That being said, the pickup and delivery customers are less price sensitive, so you can raise your price and not lose them as much as the walk-in customers who might be less price sensitive. Okay. How do you determine the number of delivery vehicles by customer, area, or poundage? Well, that comes down to how you set up your route. That affects how efficient you are. And so this part is so important. I would pay extra attention to how you set up your route, how many days of the week you're doing. By the way, if you're starting pickup and delivery, one popular way of doing it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because for those commercial accounts, they like clothes picked up on Friday, and they like their clean clothes returned on Monday. And then Wednesday is right in the middle. And so Monday, Wednesday, Friday is pretty good. And then if you want another popular day, I would do Saturday. So Saturday is a very busy day. Sunday is their slowest day, but now every day of the week is busy. But I would definitely, and you could even start off 2 days a week. A lot of people are working full-time jobs, and they're doing this when they get home or on the way home. And so you could get going just by 2 days a week. All right. So as far as the number of vehicles, I would just get what you need. Most places just start off with one. And again, it depends on your service route. The next one is, have you had any success with direct mailers? And we've tried that. And we did direct mailers to customers, and not to customers, but we have all these high-rise buildings near us. And so we spent all this money sending out direct mailers, and it turned out that the mailman would put the stack of first-class postcards on top of the community mailbox. So they didn't even put them inside the mailboxes, and that happened all over the place. But even if they did go into the people's mailboxes, it still did not have a very good return on investment. And that also takes us back to interrupted marketing. They're not looking for pickup and delivery. So I'd rather spend my money on people looking for pickup and delivery. So that's where you're going to have a better return on investment. What's a white paper? Okay, so sorry for using jargon. So I have a lot of the questions, I get some of the same questions over and over again, such as how do I start up dry cleaning, or should I do this or do that? And they're very good questions. That's why people keep asking those questions. So I made these white papers that are basically instruction manuals. It's just like a 1-page or 2-page thing that answers that question in depth. So I do have a bunch of white papers on a variety of different topics. That way you get a more complete answer than if I just wrote 1-paragraph response. Okay, do you charge a pickup and delivery fee like $8 within 10 miles, or do you build that fee into your per pound price? So for us, and everybody does it different, we just build it into the price. We're $1.65 per pound. We do have a $35 order minimum, and that's flexible, and you put that in the software. So if they're short on the 35 pounds, or $35, it automatically brings it up to $35. That's something to consider as well. And then with upcoming enhanced routing, you're going to be able to have different order minimums or different pricing for each zone that you're providing service to. Okay, actually a lot of people were asking, do you have a minimum poundage? Yep. Do you charge per pound for comforters, blankets, sleeping bags, etc.? Great question. So we charge per item on those items. And the nice part about our software is that you make the change in the software and you can do it from anywhere from home because it's in the cloud, and it automatically updates your software in the store. It automatically updates the website when the customer views the pricing, because there's a lot of moving parts. And so it just updates everything together. And so we charge a flat rate for those items. And in our point of sale and our back end software, you could tell it, you could say, okay, our wash and fold per pound is this price, and then you could have comforter prices. So you could also have per item prices as well versus just per pound pricing. How do you compensate your delivery drivers? Do they receive a minimum per hour? Yes, they do. So I think the reason for that question, we get a lot of people saying, oh, could you hire, like independent contractors or this or that? They're actually employees. So for us, and they are our most expensive employee. We pay them about $15 or so per hour. And they're also I'd say that's where some time is spent finding the right people. And by the way, if you hire somebody, have them do a test drive right from the get-go. You don't want to spend all this time training them and then you find out they can't drive. And you don't want them to learn how to drive on your dime. So that's why we have a dent on one of our vehicles. So and I'd have a zero tolerance policy as well, where if they do something that they shouldn't have done or, bumped into something they shouldn't have, I would just go find a different driver because they're going to do it again. Also, if they're driving a longer vehicle, you have to take the turns wide. And even though you tell them, people say, oh, yeah, I got it. But then they drive it just like their car. And so that's another thing just to keep in mind. You want to make sure they could drive good. Don't waste time training them until you've actually sat in the vehicle with them. But as far as compensation, we also, on our application, they could do gratuity, and we split the gratuity between the drivers and the launders as well. How do you balance commercial volume with walk-in volume at the store? Is there competition for wash, dry, folding capacity? Yes, there is. Yeah, great question. Actually, those are two great questions. As your pickup and delivery business grows, you're going to get more and more of your machines are going to be used for your wash and fold, and your customers will start to resent it, and they're also going to think whatever machines your attendants are using, they're going to think those are the best machines, and they're going to be eyeing them, wanting to take the clothes out and using that machine. What we did at our laundromat is we started a third shift. We closed our doors at 10 o'clock at night. We have about 6-7 people coming at nighttime, and they're doing laundry till 7 in the morning. That's not always possible, and you don't want to do that until you have the need to do it as well. The other thing is, the nice part about that machine tracking is it could track to make sure your attendants and launders are staggering the orders. Okay, that's super important. You don't want to hog all the machines. The tendency for a lot of employees, they come into the laundromat and they're starting their shift, they're all gung-ho, and they just put every single order, and you might not have this problem yet, but you will, with our website and your business picks up and all that stuff. And they'll just want to get all the clothes done right when they clock in. So for the rest of their shift, they could sit down and just do whatever. So it's better if there's an ebb and flow and they're using just a certain number of machines at any given time. And our machine tracking makes sure, because it timestamps it, all the employee does is tap add washer, but it's actually keeping track of which employee it is, the timestamp, what machine they're using, etc. And so that's really helpful because it can't always be there, but now you could actually monitor it without being there. Okay. How do we convert a standard delivery vehicle into one with shelving and hanging spaces? Do you have more resources on that? Okay, I probably should make a white paper for that. So we do have shelves. We went to a local, you could talk to your manufacturer or distributor or where you get the vehicle. They might know of a local place that does it. There are different places across the country, and they could turn these vans into motorhomes or into, with your glass company or this, they could deck them out however you want. And so what you really need are shelves. You also need hanging rods. And I would just talk to where you buy your vehicle from. They may know, or you might just do a web search as far as places that could kit them out. Okay, how does dry cleaning fit into this? Yeah, great question. And so when you're doing pickup and delivery, this opens up the door for dry cleaning and the reason why we do dry cleaning, it helps us make an extra couple grand a month. So, it's a little bit, but it's something. But the reason why we do the dry cleaning is because it also opens up the doorway for them to do wash and fold. So a lot of the people doing dry cleaning, they also are wash and fold customers, and they want to go to a one-stop shop because waiting for your vehicle, it's convenient, but it's not all that convenient. Imagine if you had to wait on Monday for the dry cleaner and wait on Tuesday for the wash and fold company. You may not want to do that, and each one has an order minimum. So by offering a one-stop shop where you're picking up both, you're going to attract more customers and make a whole lot more money. And the dry cleaning, our software is designed from the laundromat's point of view, so it'll tell you which orders are at the dry cleaners. And it'll make sure not to charge the credit card until the wash and fold is done and the dry cleaning is done. And it also makes sure not to notify the customer that, ready for delivery until they're both together. And it'll also let you know once a month, you could do a report to say, how much do I owe my dry cleaner? What did I send him this month? And it breaks it down by order. So our software is beautiful because there's no other software like that that's designed from the laundromat's point of view. This is all custom. All right. Zip codes are nice, but can you choose a geographic area on a service map? Yeah, great question. So this is referring to geofencing. And so the idea is if you have like a really big zip code and there's some, both cities and rural areas with these huge honking zip codes, and you may not want to service that entire zip code. So that's, great question. As of right now, we don't have that capability. It is on our roadmap, but it's going to be a little while. So my recommendation is to set a big net. And so that way, if somebody in that zip code wants to place an order, you let them. And then if they're outside, all you have to do is tap on their address, you see where it's at, and you could just send them a text message just saying, hey, it turns out you're outside of our service area. So I'd rather turn people away manually than automatically turn people away. So yeah, so you could still use the software, still let people schedule pickup and deliveries, but there will be some people who it might not be feasible or make sense to do it that way. 1 second. All right, so, but we also are switching map providers, and we already have. That's going to allow us for that capability. So we are setting the roadmap so we can have that functionality. Okay, the point of sale you will be integrating, does it, in addition to integrating with CCI, Fast Card and Laundry Card, are you planning on integrating with Spider Wash? So my recommendation, we would love to. So if you are a Spider Wash company, Spider Wash is a great, great company. They're really like 3 main card companies, and Spider Wash and CCI right up there. And so my recommendation is I would call Spider Wash, let them know we really are looking at, or we already have the curbside laundry software, and we would love to, could you integrate with them? Because if I call them, I'm a vendor, so they think I'm biased. But if a customer calls them who's using Spider Wash and says, this is really important to us, that could be more persuasive than if I call them. So we would love to, they just need to set up the APIs, and we need to connect our APIs to them. Basically, in English, we need our software to talk to each other. So we would love to do that. Do you track the productivity of your laundry workers? For example, you know that employee number 1 can process X number of pounds per hour or shift, wondering how many people will need to have to process. Okay, yeah, great question. It's actually 2 parts. So first off, our software does track how many pounds each employee has washed, dried, and folded, okay? So it tracks all that. You can do searches by time period, by dates, by employee, by everybody, and it'll show you just beautiful reports. In addition, it could also show you, you might know, like last night, what orders did Matilda work on, and it'll tell you the initial weight and the final weight, and if there's a discrepancy. So what if one order gained 5 pounds and one order lost 5 pounds? You know where those extra clothes went to. But in any case, so there's a lot of tracking in our software. Just on a side note, we always weigh the clothes up front and before and after they're folded. That's a great thing that makes it's really easy in our software because it grabs the weight automatically, but it's super important for you because a lot of times the customer will say, oh, you lost my jacket. And it could be, and so you could show them that when you dropped it off or picked it up, your order was 25 pounds. When we delivered it, it was 25 pounds. And you show them a screenshot and they see the numbers right there and they're like, oops, my mistake. The alternative, if you don't have both pieces of information, the initial weight and the final weight, you're dead in the water. Like if the customer says, you lost my jacket, what is your recourse? You could either agree with them, or you could say you're a liar, or you could say, no, we didn't. Like none of those are good options. So having information helps save you from problems. Okay, so back to the question. How many pounds per hour or per shift could somebody do? Well, that depends upon, are they doing other things besides just laundering clothes? I would venture that, during 8-hour shift, and everybody has different numbers, so I hesitate on even giving you our numbers, but we like our employees to do like 250 or so pounds during their 8-hour shift if they're just focusing on wash and fold. And of course that varies if there's sheets or baby clothes or comforters, things like that, but that's sort of the overriding metric. So that's very important stuff to track, super important. Also for pickup and delivery, is there an easy way to upload customers from previous software and making that change? It's super easy. You email us and we'll take care of it. So that's the process right now. And the one thing we can't import is credit card information because of PCI compliance, but as far as addresses and all that other information, we're able to import that, so to make that change. Also, if you're changing software, there's some very important things. You need to give your customers a heads up. We also have information on that, on how to make that transition, because you don't want to surprise the customer and suddenly their order entry is different. They might think it's a new company or got taken over, or this or that, or what happened to the old one. So we have a great plan. The main thing is you don't want to surprise anybody. You want to give people a heads up, and you want to let them know what's in it for them. Like, hey, we're getting this new system to make it easier, and a new look for our website to make things easier for you to place orders, and it's the same company you know and love. So you want to convey that. And I'd also give them a 10, 20% incentive to, try it out. And they'll love that. So, all right. And do we have a time frame on it? I'm not sure. Okay, that's probably referring to the enhanced, I'm not sure. We have a lot of stuff coming out next month on the multi-location. But I hesitate on time frames because it's hard to stick to them. We went from 2 full-time developers to 3, and because we want to get this sent out soon, so my time frame is soon. It's going to be, and especially, it takes time. Even if you switch software, it takes time to get up and running with their software. There's a lot of customization, so it'll be even sooner once you're set up because it takes a little bit of time. But I'd say, I don't want to give an exact date, but soon. All right, so I can't be more specific. Our goal is to get it out as soon as possible, but we also are very disciplined in beta testing. First, we do a lot of internal testing. Then we roll it out to supersets to make sure, we do like 900 some orders a month, so we make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. Then we roll it out to beta testers to make sure it works, and everybody's operating their business differently, so make sure it works for them. And then we roll it out all customer-wide. And we've got a great administration tool, so we're able to make changes in real time and update your software. So say like we have to do a hot patch or something like that, we're able to just make a change, push a button, and it updates everybody's software. So that's been really helpful when we have new rollouts, just to be able to update everybody. But our goal is just to have it right the first time. But a lot of our features have been made better by our customers. We're customer driven. So people say, hey, this is a better way of doing it. And I could show you any part of our software, what came from different customers. And they came from our customers, and so feedback is welcome because that's what makes the software better. So we don't get defensive like, oh no, we're open ears, and we do implement a lot of these changes. All right, do you have any employee handbooks or process handbooks that teach team members what to do? So we do online training, and so it's through a screen share. And we typically train the trainers in a sense, and then you train your staff, or we train your managers. And then the other thing is we do have a manual, and we also have YouTube videos that are just 2 or 3 minutes long. But our software is very intuitive. It's very easy to use. We get hardly any tech support phone calls, even though we have a lot of clients. I'd say most of the calls are things like, I forgot how to add give somebody a store credit, because you're not doing that every day. So that's something to consider. Like it's more of the one-off things that sometimes people forgot or just need a reminder. But it's very intuitive. And we, one of the things with our company, we hired just the top-notch developers in the United States from an Inc. 500 company, and so they have a user interface specialist. So a lot of the stuff, it's all modern architecture. It's not like a 1980s, Windows 3.1 software. This is modern, and you just click. And it's generally color-coded, so it lets the attendant know what to do next. And it all follows the wash and fold process. So it's, very easy to use. That being said, when you do install, new software, you will want to spend a little bit more time at the laundromat just showing them how to use it, and you also want to let them know, hey, this is how we're doing things now. You don't want to use two different systems at the same time because that just leads to problems. So when you do switch, I would just, just switch. On this day, we're now using curbside. How do you do the demo? Yeah, great question. We've got, so go ahead and go to curbsidelaundries.com and then tap demo. And what the demo is, it's a screen share. And so it is by schedule, it is 1 hour, but then it's all focused on your business and what, the things that you're looking for, and we'll discuss, every laundromat needs different things. And so we'll focus on what we could do to help grow your business. So there's not really like a one-stop, generic demo for everybody. That's very specific to your business. And do you have an option to pick up on demand for a super high price? Oh, interesting. Okay, so my guess is that's for same day, meaning, okay, I want to pick, so I mean, this question may have come before. It may have come before I showed the how you could change the pricing. So you could, if somebody's just doing a one-time pickup, you could raise the price for that. If you're doing a same-day pickup, you could charge a different rate for that, but we don't allow it right now, but we're going to be changing it. Right now, we don't allow somebody to schedule a same-day pickup online. The reason why is it takes a lot of coordination between, to make sure the driver could actually handle it, but we're going to be updating that soon. And so to do a same-day pickup, and you could charge a different amount for that, so basically, they'd call into the laundromat. The attendant could go ahead and create that order. Also for in-store, our software automatically, if they want a same-day pickup for in-store, it automatically adds a 25 or 35-cent surcharge per pound, and also brings it to the top of the launder's list. So that way you could just, and it's automatic. So, and you could customize the price. But that's super helpful because that way the people who want their clothes right away, they could pay for it, if it's important to them. Do I have to buy new computers to use the software? Yeah, great question. So you can if you want. You could use a Windows 10 computer. It doesn't have to be new. Most of our customers, and you could save some off the price, but most of our customers wind up using the point of sale terminal that we provide because of the form factor. It has a built-in thermal ticket printer. It has a credit card reader. It has a touchscreen. I definitely would get a touchscreen monitor because it's just faster for your employees to just tap, and then they create the order versus typing. So the touchscreen is very important. But you could use your own computer and save on the setup cost. But this is also turnkey with the hardware that we provide. By adding vans and more employees, what's the expected profit? So great question. And it also depends our minimum wage is going to be getting up to about $15, so we're about $12, $13 an hour. So it depends what your cost of operations are and what your minimum wage is as well. We generally operate at about like a 35% profit, or 30 to 35%, and it's about 5% less percentage profit than our in-store wash and fold. So I mean, we could probably counter that by raising the pickup and delivery, but that's where we're at right now. Does the point of sale have an option for retail items such as soap and softener? So yes, it does. So let me go ahead and show you I'm going to go ahead and launch that right now so you can see what that looks like. So that's what we call the register. So because for wash and fold customers, so for example, for wash and fold customers, you need to get their phone number and their address, their email and all this different information. And if you're just buying something off the counter, like a box of soap, you don't want to create a whole account for that. So we did create a point of sale register that you can see right over here. You have the categories on the left. You have the items over here. So you could just tap Coke or Snickers bar. It adds it right here. And people could pay by check, cash, or credit card. And with the CCI integration, in addition to paying by cash and check and credit card, there'll be a new fast card button right there, or laundry card, and you can just tap that. And this is fantastic. Initially our developers told us this would take about 40 hours. turned out to be about 180 hours because we kept on adding to it. They said we have champagne taste, but we wanted to do it the best. So this keeps track of inventory. It automatically emails us in real time if there's a cash variance when closing out the cash drawer. So this register is super, super powerful. It also reminds us when to order more items. So this is a real helpful tool that we love. All right. So I'm starting wash, dry, fold. Should we also launch pickup and delivery or start slow? So me personally, some people do it all at once, but I like to just get one thing down, then add one more step, and then add one more step. And we're always adding one more thing. So I would get the wash, dry, and fold down so you're comfortable with it, so you've got a process down, people are comfortable with it, because pickup and delivery does add one more element that you have to keep organized. That being said, I would have a start date of when you plan on doing pickup and delivery, because otherwise the date will never happen and time will slip away. I've got people I've talked to 2 years ago who were planning on doing pickup and delivery and they're still planning on doing it. So you don't want to end up in that boat. You want to get going because there's first mover's advantage or early mover's advantage, meaning if there's one person in town doing it, they're going to get the lion's share of business. But don't fret. Even if there's other people doing it, there's another way of looking at it. In NASCAR, the winning car is, quote, making the most money, is car number 2. You know why? Because car number 1 is having to break the wind and spending a lot of gas, which is money. And then the guy who's getting the draft, he's barely pushing the gas, and he's in number 2, and he's going almost the same speed. And so you actually sometimes make more money not being the first one because they're spending all this money creating awareness. But at the same time, you don't want to be the last one. So there's no time like the present. The first mover has the advantage, and then also if there's somebody else out there, that's okay. They're helping create that market. We have more competition than ever at supersuds, and we're also making more money than ever at supersuds on pickup and delivery. So what that means is the market is growing. Okay, so the market there's just more people doing pickup and delivery, and you don't want to miss that boat. I mean, if you were to start a pizza shop, would you even think about opening up a pizza store that doesn't do delivery? Maybe, it depends like what your model is, but you'll probably make more money if you deliver too. Does the point of sale system support both wash, dry, fold, and pickup and delivery? Yes, and it's the exact same back end. So it's super easy. Your employees don't have to learn anything new. The only difference is it adds a thing for the driver, so it shows them where to go next. And the driver, when he gets to the laundromat, all he has to do is tap unload, and he weighs the clothes, and he says what shelf he's putting it under. That's it. The laundering process is the exact same. It shows up in the same launder's list. So it's one system, and all of our reports, you could split things up however you want. You could do it by date. You could do it by just show me my delivery business, just show me my in-store business, just show me my in-store residential business, or show me everything. So you're able to view all this data and how your business is doing in a lot of different ways. How much is the cost of the system? Okay, so there's a lot of variables, but just to kind of break it down, so there's 2 parts of the cost. One is for everything you see here on the left-hand side, and that's the point of sale hardware, the software, getting all customized, the customer portal, so that's only if you're doing pickup and delivery, and the website. And the website includes consultation with the Inc. 500 company to localize it and make it just pop and work really well. So it's $4,500 for that. And then you could split that up into 2 different payments. So like $2,250 up front, $2,250 in 30 days. Then once your software is live, and again, it depends if you're just using it for in-store or pickup and delivery, the price ranges from like $200 a month to $350. So for everything, if you're doing in-store, pickup and delivery, and hosting the website, all of those things, it's $350, which comes out to about $11 a day. And then you've got this whole new revenue generator that's making a lot more money. And many of our clients have multiplied their wash and fold revenue. So it's not like a $500 increase or $1,000 or $2,000. It's significant. It does take the website about 3 to 4 months to really kick into gear. And so you'll notice after about 3 to 4 months, to get properly indexed and all those things. But after about 3 to 4 months, your website becomes more effective and your rate of growth should increase quite a bit. And the website is going to help your self-serve business. It's going to help your in-store wash and fold, and it's going to help your pickup and delivery. So yeah, great question. I have a dry cleaning business. Does this point of sale work for dry cleaners as well? It does not. This software is made just for laundromats. The dry cleaning component in our software it's at the dry cleaner. So, I mean, there's a little bit more to it, but it's basically at the dry cleaner. It comes back from the dry cleaner. Of course, it creates the manifest, and it helps you work with the dry cleaner. It does all that stuff, but it doesn't keep track of the dry cleaning process itself. So there's other, we got, in a way, very, very lucky in a sense. My brother, he helped grow the business so much where, many, many times what it was before. And he's like, we need to get software that works for our industry. And there wasn't anything out there, that made just for laundromats. There's dry cleaning software that kind of works for dry cleaning, but it does the same thing we do for dry cleaning, which is it just says, not clean, clean. Well, there's a lot more to it. So like machine tracking and all those things. And so this market, for whatever reason, just was not mature. And we're still constantly developing, making our software better and better and better, and we're never going to stop. But, fortunately, and Aaron looked around at all these different software components out there. We were not looking to make our own software. I mean, this was like many years ago, but it turned out we needed to make it, or else we would basically peak, or start making a lot of mistakes, and that'll hurt your Yelp reviews. And then you're spending all this money on advertising, and it's counteracted by your 2-star Yelp reviews. So you really need to have software to manage the process. Yeah, but there's great dry cleaning software out there. It's just it doesn't work that great for laundromats. So this is, laundromat specific. All right. I wasn't able to hear the first part, but did you go over cost? Okay. Yeah, so I just went over cost. So it's about $4,500 for the setup, $350 a month for the in-store and pickup and delivery and hosting of the website. But again, the price could be lower depending on what you need or don't need. So about $11 a day. And there's no other thing you could spend $11 a day and suddenly have this whole new revenue source, that unlocks this business. You're already paying for the machines, you're already paying the lease, and you want to keep those machines spinning. And if you could, and each wash and fold pickup and delivery customer spends about $530 a year. So, that's just another reason to get into it. This is a revenue generator. I don't see it as like a monthly cost. I see it as, this is investing in your business, growing it, like marketing, but even more so. Do I really have to set up a fleet of vehicles to monitor drivers and mechanics, or can it be any easier? Okay, so most of our clients, I'd say, or laundry owners are doing the pickup and delivery themselves, but and I'd also say most have one vehicle. Over time, you may expand, but before you expand to more vehicles, you could offer pickup and delivery more days of the week. So that is a lot more effective than just adding another vehicle. So I personally would increase your coverage both by days or by areas before buying another vehicle. Like buying another vehicle is that's a big thing, and you don't want to do it until you have to. But at some point, you'll probably have to. But the good news is it's a lot cheaper buying another vehicle than it is buying another laundromat. It'll make your return on investment is going to be so much greater. But I'd say most places are doing well with a single vehicle. Okay, you charge for items like comforters. So are there checkboxes on the form to fill out? What does that form look like? All right, yeah, great question. So once again, we've got, let me go ahead and open up our software. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a new order. Okay, so this is the back end of our software, and this would be normally displaying on your point of sale terminal. And so you could go ahead and look up a customer's name. So I'm looking up Simmons. We got a few Simmonses here. And all the attendant has to do is tap the plus sign to create a new order. So it's super easy to use. I'm going to do laundry only. And if you don't do dry cleaning, this won't even show up. So I'm going to go ahead and tap laundry only. And then over here, this is to create a new order. So yes, is the customer dropping off or picking up their order? And if it's a walk-in customer, you would just say yes. The reason why we have this question is sometimes people call in, meaning they're not dropping off their clothes. You're actually picking it up. So if it's a pickup and delivery, you would just tap no. So this is how your attendant would create a pickup and delivery order. All right, so this is what it looks like to create a new order. It remembers that I like cold wash only. It defaults to about the next day at about 12 o'clock. It lets us know how many pounds we have in our current queue, so that way if you're overloaded, you might not have the clothes ready tomorrow. It'll be ready in 2 days. And I'm going to go ahead and do pay now with check. You could also do pay at pickup. So we're actually pay now with cash. So over here, we want to add a service. And I'll go ahead and choose, you could do wash and fold, which is price per pound. But the question is how do you add an item like a comforter? So I'm going to go ahead and do a comforter. And then over here, you would just add 1 or 2 comforters. The reason why we default at 0, okay, let me show you what I mean. When I chose comforter, it defaults at 0 quantity. And I have to manually tap up. The reason why we didn't just make it default to 1 is because many times the customer will give you 2 comforters. And when we defaulted at 1, they never changed that number. And attendants all over the country were giving away free comforters. So now we force the attendant to choose how many comforters they have, and that helps save a lot of mistakes. So you'll see a lot of things that are very well thought out. You might not even be aware of, but it helps prevent mistakes and giving away your product for free. We also have these additional options they could just check, and it's all customizable. All right. Let's see. We've got some more questions. When will the webinar be available for viewing? Probably within a couple of days. We'll go ahead and email everybody a copy. And we still have about almost 100 people still online right now. So so if you still have questions, feel free to submit them. What time of days are most of your requests? Okay, what times of day are the most popular for drop-off and pickup? Great question. It turns out whatever your first one is, that's going to be your most popular. So if 8 to 11 in the morning or 8 to 12 is the first, a lot of people just want to get it done in the morning. That's going to be your most popular time. And then the slowest one for us is between 2 and 5 because it's just kind of like stuck in the middle. Other thing is the other popular time is after work, be like between 7 and 10. So, and again, you don't have to make it where it's all these different time slots. We do, but you don't have to. You could just do it from 8 to 12 and you'll be fine. That being said, a lot of people like it dropped off or picked up after they get home from work, which basically means your 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is going to be, a lot of people won't be home during that time. So another popular time is between like 6 and 9. So that's just something to consider. But I'd say the mornings are the most popular. Monday, Wednesday, actually every day of the week is popular, but Mondays and Fridays are the most popular, and then Saturday is popular too. And Wednesday is a good stopgap because it's right smack in the middle. How much pickup and delivery do you need to make a vehicle and a professional driver worth it? Is there a calculation? So we probably started too quickly in a sense, where we did it 7 days a week and we were paying for a driver to, during his downtime, he was cleaning machines and stuff, and he didn't know how to fold, so he's doing other things. Now our drivers are doing it full time and out on the road, and so we got plenty to keep them busy. So I would say in the beginning, the way to make it worth it faster is just do pickup and delivery 2 days a week, and then you're in the game. And people at your website, you could convert them into customers, and then as you get busier, add a third day. That being said, and you can also do different time slots. So it does take time to ramp up. These customers, they spend more per year than your in-store wash and fold, almost double, but they also are a little bit more harder. It's a little bit slower to acquire them. So you want to have a big net where you're servicing a big area. So you kind of have to service a bigger area in order to get these customers. And then it just starts, you'll know when it's time to expand so that's how I would do it. The way to make it worth it sooner is to limit the days and hours that you're doing pickup and delivery. Don't start off 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So we had somebody do that. And so he started off every single day of the week, and the orders started coming in, and it's just him. And he's picking up the clothes and he's like, man, I don't have a break. I'm getting all these orders. Like what, I need a break. And so he turned off Sunday. You could just unclick Sunday, and then suddenly nobody could do pickup and deliveries on Sundays. And then he was happy again. He goes, oh, thank you. My family's gonna be so happy. But again, it depends on your location as far as how long it takes to acquire customers. But yeah, so those are just some things to consider. Is there a way for the driver to pay for the vehicle? Like the way you're thinking. I would talk to the insurance company. I would make sure whatever you do, I would talk to your insurance company and make sure if they're like, who's responsible if they're driving and they get into an accident or something, a fender bender, who's responsible? Is it you? Is it them? So you want to make sure they're properly insured. I would not take a shortcut on that. That being said, some places have looked at hiring Uber drivers. There's different options for that. One way of hiring somebody is you order a pizza, and a pizza person person arrives, and you could ask them, hey, would you like a job where you're doing pickup and delivery with better hours, so you're not having to work at nighttime and as much over the weekend? And so that's one way of finding new drivers as well. And they have their own vehicles. I don't think the pizza shop is providing a Domino's vehicle. So that's just one thing to consider. But make sure they're properly insured. What times of day are the most popular requested pickup and drop off? So again, I covered that. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, all good days. And then, earlier times as well are popular. When and how did you weigh the laundry delivered? Okay, so I just, covered that. So the questions keep coming in. So that's when and how do you weigh the clothes? Okay, so when we pick up the clothes, we weigh them as soon as they're off the vehicle, and that's just for internal information. Then the clothes are laundered, and the attendant weighs the clothes again. All right, so that the reason for that is in case there's a discrepancy, and it's just good record. So that way, and it makes sure that if there's a jacket that gets lost, that, or that a jacket did not get lost, because the weight going in and going out is the same. So we weigh it twice, and it's a fast process because our software grabs the weight automatically from the scale. So I really appreciate everybody sticking around too, because there's about like 70 people still online right now, and these are great questions. So as long as you have questions, I'll be here to help you, and also for customers too. Like anytime you could call us because questions come up even after you're in operation, especially when you're on operation, saying, oh, we ran into this, what do you recommend? And so you don't have to learn everything through the School of Hard Knocks. Let us do that, and we'll just kind of give you, what worked for us and other folks too. Do you do anything proactive like the mailer idea, or just leave it all to the web page search results? Is it really better to focus everything there? Okay. So do you do anything proactive like the mailer, or just, okay. So you're right. In a way, the website and all those things, people looking for wash and fold, that's kind of passive. They're already looking for wash and fold. And then you're turning those people into customers. I ran for city council, and one of the guys, marketing guys, goes, you could convince somebody to vote, or you could convince somebody to vote for you, but you can't do both. So what I recommend is applying that to this is don't spend your time convincing somebody to do wash and fold or pick up and delivery. Focus on the people already looking to do it and convince them to use you. So that's why I focus on the passive in terms of getting new customers. But there are proactive things you could do once they've been to your website, or once they've placed an order, or once they've filled out the form but they hadn't completed it yet, or they went into the software but they didn't actually place an order. So there's a lot of opportunity once they start the process, or once they're a customer. You need to be proactive to keep these customers, because otherwise you're going to, most of them will stay, but some of them will leave, and it's a lot more cost effective to keep a customer than it is to try and find a whole new customer. So great question. And the same token, if somebody visits our website, a lot of times they don't place an order the very first time they go to our website. So we actually do remarketing campaigns. We only spend about $50 a month on that, but those $50 is the best $50 we spend, because what that means is they went to our website but they didn't place an order. So we remarket to them, meaning we show Super Suds advertisements to them over the course, like 2 to 3 times over the course of a week, because we know they were already looking for wash and fold, but they just didn't pull the trigger. So it's really important if they showed any sign of interest, yeah, you want to be proactive with those people and get them in, have them become customers. Okay, let me get to the next question. How about insurance for the vehicles? Usually those commercial vehicles attractions for ambulance attorneys. Okay, so the insurance is not bad. I forget the company we go through. I think it's, but you want to make sure you're properly insured, and you also need to make sure that your employees have a clean driving record. And talk to your insurance agent before you hire anybody, because you might get a big break if they're over a certain age, or or based upon their driving record. And if you hire the wrong person for a driver, that could just really increase your insurance rates quite a bit. But our insurance is not, it's really affordable. It's actually lower than I expected. I forget the numbers offhand. But I would definitely talk to your insurance agent, make sure you're properly insured, and also make sure that if there's any requirements for your drivers, like which type of people to look for and how that affects your rates. Fantastic presentation. Oh, thank you. So, okay, yeah. All right. Do you have a time frame on the geofencing? So we don't for that. So that's, once again, the geofencing is where you could circle an area to provide service to. But yeah, we don't have a time frame. We are working on a bunch of things, and I can't wait. If you look at where software was a year ago or 2 years ago compared to where we are now, it does so many new things like the machine tracking and the commercial invoicing, all that stuff. And I think 1 year from now, when you look back, you're going to be like, wow. But the geofencing, it's going to take a little bit of time. But I can't wait I have to remain tight-lipped because, development does take time, but we do have some really amazing things. I mean, even next month, we're rolling out multi-location, which is going to be so awesome. Your driver is going to be able to go to any location, drop off the clothes at store A or store B, and it automatically could do the logo for each different store if they're branded differently, or if your pickup and delivery is branded differently. And so that multi-location thing is a big deal. We have all these people waiting for that. So as soon as we have that, we have people lined up saying, oh, could you bring my other stores on? And the price per store is way, way down because they could use the same instance of the software. So it'll be, your driver will be able to unload the clothes anywhere. The laundry shows up in that store's laundry list. And you as the owner could see how every store is doing from your phone. So, and your driver could decide which store to drop off the clothes because you could see how busy everybody is. So we got some really cool stuff coming down the line. All right. Does your software pickup and delivery print labels to put on clear bags and hanging items that get returned to customers? Yeah, great question. So right now, let me go ahead and show you what we have right now. So we do get this question quite a bit. So this is important to us. So that'll take just a second. So this is what our tickets look like right now. And so it's got so we just tape it on. Some customers just use like circle stickers. Some customers use pre-printed circle stickers, and then, so it looks more polished. But it is true. Like if you have a sticker, it is more convenient to just slap that sticker on, even when you're picking up the clothes, instead of using luggage tags like how we're doing it now. That being said, the sticker printers are a lot more expensive. It costs a lot to print, and this is really practically free because this is printed with a thermal ticket printer, and it's just a roll of paper, and you don't even need ink. So your cost on this is very low. Down the line, but it's going to be a little bit of time before we actually print out labels. But that is something we're looking at. We just want to make sure we're using the right hardware. And then we have to reformat the ticket. And we're also, looking at making, so we are looking at different options and more compact stickers that I could just slap on. And that'll also help keep your costs down by having a uniform size receipt. Okay. Okay, let's see. So we got a question saying, okay, does the software show you how, okay, one second. Does the software show you how, which employee made each sale, show which attendant processed an order, which employee took the order? Yes. So we have a really cool, you could look up any given order. We've got two different ways of looking this up, actually probably more. So basically you want to see who touched that order. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the software real quick. And so I could go ahead and look up any given order. So let's go ahead and look up one of mine. And yeah, I have a few orders in here. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. And so you could look up any order and you could see exactly who touched that order, what happened on that order, and who laundered it, who dried it, who completed it, who picked up the clothes, everything about that order, including who took the order. In this case, the customer scheduled their own pickup and delivery online. That being said, we also have a transaction report. So you can look at the entire transactions for the day and see who created that order as well. So there's a lot of different ways to get that information. And this report is just so valuable because it gives you so much good information. You could email a receipt to them just by tapping here. And a lot of our customers, they'll be driving around and then they get a customer complaint about something or this or that, and they need to get information. They use their phone, they look this information up. They're able to help their customer while being away from the laundromat. So that is just super spectacular. All right, another thing with our transaction report that's really helpful is it tells you not only how many orders were created that day, but who paid. And that's actually two separate questions. So again, this is another difference between our software and software that's designed for restaurants. Because normally you buy your hamburger and you pay on the same day you get your hamburger. But the question is, how many people scheduled orders today? And how many people paid? Well, those are two different questions. And our software makes it really easy to see how many new wash and fold orders you got. And by the way, and who paid, because sometimes they pay when they pick it up, sometimes they pay automatically when the clothes are laundered. So our software is it's great because you're able to see this information on the fly. Are there other options in software that handle route optimization? So right now we've got pretty basic functionality as far as, which place to go to next. You're able to click on the address and it shows you that on a map, and you're able to use your Android device to navigate you to that location. But we do have, coming up very soon, we're going to be able to do the route optimization for multiple drivers, for multiple vehicles, for multiple time slots, and then it's just going to be providing a wealth of information. And not only will it automatically route them, but you're going to be able to manually adjust the destinations as well. So if you need to go to point A first, you could just drag that up to the top of the list, and it'll tell you what time you'll arrive at that location. So you can turn the optimized routing on and off. So that feature is coming very soon. Are employees clocking in through the software? So yeah, that's a great question. So it turns out they're able to use the same point of sale terminal, the same computer. And there's a lot of great free applications out there, so they could have a separate tab for that. Another one is like jolt.com. Another one is wheniwork.com, both made specifically for time clocks. And they've got it all dialed in, and it's free. So yeah, you could use that at the same time as our software on the same device, or in a lot of these software, the two that I just mentioned, the employee could even use that on their cell phone. They just enable the location on their cell phone, and they could use their phone, and as long as they're at the laundromat, they could clock in. So that's, yeah, super handy. All right, so let me go ahead and, so we're probably gonna have to, so we've got a lot of questions. We're gonna be wrapping up just in a few minutes. If I haven't got to your question yet, then go ahead and just, if you want to schedule a demo or call, we could do that as well, and it could help you, one-on-one. Let's see. At what point should you just have a production team in comparison to having attendants that clean and help out with the self-service wash and fold? So in New York, this is happening quite a bit, which is people are making so much money on pickup and delivery that they say, why am I doing the self-service? I like doing it all, and I think you can. But so there are those places that just say, you know what, we're just closing our doors and we're doing pickup and delivery only. But we'd be walking away from $45,000 a month or more if we did that, actually more than that. So it's hard for me to just shut down business. I'd rather take it, I'd rather have diversified revenue. Another great reason to do pickup and delivery is in case your self-serve starts dropping off because a new laundromat opens across the door with brand new machines, you still have the pickup and delivery. But then if you're only doing pickup and delivery, maybe who knows? Maybe somebody does it for less, or who knows? But it is nice to have a diversified business. But that's just my own point of perspective. A lot of places, one thing to keep in mind: if you do close your doors, the laundromat does change characteristics. So I've seen, pictures of some of these places. They're sometimes not kept as clean because customers aren't coming in. And so it does change in character a little bit. So that's just, something to consider. But, at some point you may just want to go pick up and delivery only. But we like to diversify that revenue stream. And we feel we make more money doing it that way too. Is there a cost to the updates as well? So as of yet, we have not charged for any of the updates. We just want everybody on the latest version. The one thing we're looking at, there may be a cost, like $10 a month or so, is on the optimized routing to let your driver where to go next. And the reason for that is every single time we do a request to optimize the route, it costs us money. And then which means the more more business they're doing, they're actually, we're getting charged. So we just feel it's fair, like, okay, if you're doing more pickup and deliveries, and you need to optimize the route. But for a lot of our customers, especially if they're already customers right now, we're going to give that to them for free for some time, just to help out. But for the most, as of now, we are including the commercial module and all these things, and it's just part of the software. And that's something to expect. If you sign up with our software, it will keep getting better and better, and you'll get updates. Do you offer a customer service option like Google Ads for $250 a month option? So yes, we do. We could handle your Google Ads and manage those for $250 a month. And an Inc. 500 company will be managing. We're talking about industry experts who have lots of laundry experience. The one caveat with that is, in order for us to get the price down that much, because normally, they charge $500 or more per month just to manage the AdWords, because these are the best in the business. You need to use you need to use our website design, because they're very familiar with that. They know how to turn that traffic into a call to action, because when people are using their own websites, it wasn't always having the same effectiveness because their call to action might not have been strong. But with our website, they're very familiar with it, and so they're able to do it at that reduced price of $250 per month. How much personalization is available to customers, like detergents and folding and temperature? So we made it so you could just check the boxes for what you need. And then if you don't see the option you need, you could just go ahead and handwrite or type in what you want, for pickup and delivery. So it's very, very flexible, and it'll show up on the launder's ticket, and so that your attendant knows exactly how the customer wants it. And you could charge for those customizations or not, and it's totally up to you. You could set up the software however you want. So one question is, so the $4,500 includes the web search stuff and everything you have, or is that extra? Okay, so great question. The $4,500 includes the point of sale terminal, the hardware, the software, setting up the customer portal so your customers could schedule pickup and deliveries online. And it also includes the website. And through the website, that provides you the organic advertising, meaning it'll show up for free, where you're not paying per click on Google. So if somebody's searching for wash and fold or laundry pickup or whatever they're searching for, you show up, they're able to click on that, and that's just built into the website. Now, if you want to be more proactive with advertising and you want to pay for Google advertising, we could help you with that too and manage your campaigns, or you could do it on your own. But those Google AdWords do cost money to run, but you'll get basically, in essence, free advertising with your website. So you don't have to do the Google AdWords if you don't want. The $4,500 helps get you started. And then it's $350 a month for both the in-store website hosting and the pickup and delivery. And the reason for that is we're hosting with Microsoft Azure. The software is sending out emails and text messages, includes tech support, it includes software updates. So we're constantly, and new features. So anyways, I'm sorry if I wasn't able to get to your questions, but if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Got my email right over here. Or feel free to schedule a demo by going to curbsidelaundries.com and then tapping demo. And just again, I really appreciate you taking the time to learn about pickup and delivery. So thanks again for joining us, and hope to talk to you soon.